Jury deliberations began minutes ago in the defamation case against former President Donald Trump. Carroll alleges Trump raped her in a dressing room at Bergdorf Goodman in the 90s. Trump's attorney told the jury Monday that Carroll fabricated the story for political reasons and money, saying she never filed a police report and doesn't know the date of the alleged attack. Carroll's attorneys point to two of Carroll's friends who testified she told them about the attack right after it happened. The attorneys say they are successful journalists who wouldn't risk lying in court.
In a classic Trumpian fashion, ex-POTUS has made a sensational claim that he has been muzzled from testifying in the Carroll trial, insisting he has been unfairly silenced and unable to share his side of the story. But that's not all. Trump has also blasted Carroll for supposedly having free rein to write books and share her version of events, while he has been left powerless to do the same. The former president had announced his sudden trip to Ireland, claiming he needed to return to the U.S. on the last day of the Carroll trial to confront her. But as we suspected, it appears that Trump had fabricated this excuse to leave the country during the trial, all the while giving his followers the impression he was busy with important business affairs. As the trial progressed and evidence was presented against Trump, he bided his time, waiting for the last day to make his move. His hope? Avoid testifying altogether by taking advantage of a potential loophole in the legal system. By waiting until the end of the trial to leave, Trump was banking on the judge's ruling that he had waived his right to testify by not showing up earlier. But with this latest revelation, Trump's plan may have backfired. The federal judge presiding over the Carroll trial called out Donald Trump's bluff and notified his lawyer. During a Thursday hearing, the judge expressed skepticism about Trump's lawyer's claim that the former president had waived his right to testify, saying he doesn't believe him. Not one to back down, the judge issued an ultimatum to Trump, giving him until Sunday to decide whether he wanted to testify in the trial. In a powerful statement, the judge emphasized his commitment to a fair trial and promised to give Trump every opportunity to speak his piece should he choose to do so. Despite being given a request by the federal judge in the Carroll trial to decide whether or not he would testify, Donald Trump failed to meet the deadline, leaving the world wondering what his next move would be. And now, as the jury deliberates, Trump has taken to social media to play the victim yet again. In a predictable move, Trump has posted a message claiming that he has been silenced and denied the opportunity to defend himself despite being a current political candidate and leading all others in both parties. He goes on to complain about hard-nosed reporters shouting questions at him about the case, while the other side has published a book falsely accusing him of rape and is working with the press. Trump ends his post by vowing to appeal the unconstitutional silencing of him as a candidate, no matter the trial outcome. But with the jury still deliberating and the world on tenterhooks, one cannot help but wonder what surprises the former president has in store. Will he come out swinging after the verdict is announced, or will he continue to play the victim? Yes, Donald Trump had every opportunity to testify at the trial, but chose not to, and his lawyer clarified that Trump had waived his right to testify. Trump's subsequent claims that he was silenced and not allowed to defend himself are not supported by the facts of the case. The judge must ensure that both parties have a fair opportunity to pursue or defend against the claim asserted by or against them. In this case, the judge gave Donald Trump until Sunday to let him know if he wanted to testify, even though his lawyer had previously stated that he waived his right. The judge clarified that he would give Trump every opportunity to testify if he wanted to, but Trump did not take advantage of that opportunity. The defendant in this case is not just any defendant, but a former president of the United States. The judge emphasized the importance of ensuring a fair trial, stating, "This is a serious case and it requires a serious approach to it." He also noted that the case had received a significant amount of media attention and urged all parties involved to conduct themselves appropriately and focus on the facts. In 1996, a magazine writer, Carroll, alleged that Donald Trump sexually assaulted her in a Manhattan department store. Trump dismissed her claims as a ploy to sell books, calling it a complete con job. However, in a civil case, a New York jury ruled against Trump on Tuesday, finding him guilty of sexual abuse and defamation. The jury ordered Trump to pay Carroll $5 million in damages. According to news reports from the British Isles, which attributed various statements to Trump, caused the judge took precautions, including allowing Trump to testify if he wished. Despite this, Trump chose not to testify testify and now claims he has been silenced. This appears to be part of a larger strategy by Trump to play the victim and set up the judge. On the last day of the trial, Trump suggested that he had to leave his golf game in Ireland to confront his accuser, Carroll, which seems to have been a deliberate attempt to portray himself as the victim in the case. Although Donald Trump did not appear in court, the jury was shown footage of a deposition he gave during the trial where he denied sexually assaulting Carroll in a Manhattan department store in 1996 by stating that she was not his type and mistook her for his ex-wife in a photograph. Carroll's lawyer, Roberta Kaplan, argued that Trump's confusion undermined his claim that he was not attracted to Carroll and even suggested that Kaplan herself was also not his type. Despite Trump's denial, the jury found him liable for sexual abuse and defamation. How do you think this event is going to unfold? Only time will tell. It is important to note that no one is above the law and justice will always prevail.